Welcome back to the Freedom Calories Kitchen. Today we're talking about salad and how it's not always the safest choice. Right, so if you have a choice between salad and French fries at a restaurant, which one do you go for? It's not as straightforward as you might think. Sure, deep frying is always worse, but soybean oil isn't exactly your best friend either. And from a calorie perspective, you know, maybe you have 700 calories worth of French fries on your plate, but there's some hidden calories in your salad if you aren't careful. So you have to pay attention to some things. And I've got a little story for you. For Jen's birthday, we went out and we did a long ride and we did a little run. And then on our way home, we decided to get some steak salads from one of our favorite places. And this was the first time we've done it takeout style. So we just brought everything home and had it all put on the side. I do regularly put dressing on the side at a restaurant because I use the fork trick. I dip my fork in and I take a bite, or I take a bite and then dip my fork and put the dressing in. And I use way less dressing that way, and I get it with every single bite because, hey, let's face it, dressing tastes wonderful. But I was really curious how much they actually gave me, so I had the container. Now, mind you, it is October 8th, and her birthday was September 23rd. That was like 3 weeks ago. I still have this container. So I went and weighed the container. It was 4 ounces of dressing. Blue cheese dressing is anywhere from 150, 160 to 210 calories per serving. One serving is 1 ounce. They gave me 4 ounces. That's 4 servings. So if we call it 200 calories an ounce, that's 800 calories. If we go on the low end and call it 150, that's 600 calories. So just in the dressing on that salad, you're talking 600 to 800 calories, because you know they're not buying the reduced fat blue cheese or reduced calorie blue cheese. Restaurants just don't do that, right? So that's something to watch out for. Now, I actually weighed it out to see how much I used. It gives me a gauge of what it's like when I do this at a restaurant too, so now I always know. And it took me 3/4 of an ounce. I used 3/4 of an ounce with that salad using the fork trick. So it was only maybe 140, 150 calories worth of total dressing that I actually used by using the fork trick. And I got to enjoy it. This right here, earlier in the week, Jen and I on the way home, it's like, oh, let's grab some bag salads. We'll have that with our meal. So we had some rice, we had some bag salad, and then we had some air fried crispy chicken thighs. Super yummy. But we each had our own bag of salad. And if you look at the back of the bag of salad, I got the bacon and blue cheese one. If you can't tell, I love blue cheese. It was 130 calories per serving. So that's 520 calories for the entire bag. 4 servings in that bag. This packet, this dressing packet, is 3 ounces of dressing. So, almost all of the calories for that entire bag are in this little dressing packet right here. The 9 ounces of salad greens that cost 60 calories, maybe 80 calories. It's augmented by this little packet right here. So instead of using this, I actually whipped out the dressing that I still had, and 3/4 of an ounce later, boom, I'm golden. So just a little something to pay attention to there, because the dressings that you're getting at restaurants are typically anywhere from 150 to 200 calories per ounce. That's in both the vinaigrettes and the creamy dressings. So don't be fooled by thinking one is necessarily much better than the other unless they offer a light version. One of the other tricks you can do when you are at the restaurant is ask specifically for the oil and vinegar, and they'll usually bring a balsamic and then an olive oil. Or you can just ask for the red wine vinegar. Most restaurants will have red wine vinegar in the back that you can use, and you can use that to flavor, or just the balsamic and use that to flavor. I always keep some sort of balsamic in the house because I really like that. Now, if you're the kind of person where the vinegar, burns around the lips or something like that, I toss mine in the crock pot for 4 hours, and I put just a tablespoon of maple syrup in there with it, and then pour it back in the bottle. It takes away, it reduces it a little bit, takes away that little kick, and it makes it sweet without adding very many calories. The maple is more or less just for flavor because I love that. But you don't have to add that. You can just turn it into a balsamic reduction. Companies like Maple Groves, they have fat-free vinaigrettes. This thing's 15 calories for a tablespoon. Here's a little creamy blue cheese I keep in the cabinet that's only 90 calories per ounce. I still use the fork trick with this instead of pouring it on, but I chose this one because it's made with buttermilk instead of soybean oils and other things like that. Just a little personal choice. I try to steer clear of the soybean oils at home. If I'm out, obviously I'm buying it. Doesn't matter. Not a big deal. But at home, I try to keep the better stuff around. Now, this is the big trick for at home. If you've got some white vinegar or some white wine vinegar and some plain Greek yogurt, you need 1 tablespoon of white wine vinegar, a full pound, 16 ounces of the plain Greek yogurt, and then 1 of these packets. This is the Italian. This is ranch. You've got onion and vegetable. So here's the deal. Get rid of the vinegar, and it's a dip for carrots and celery and all sorts of stuff. If you add the vinegar, it becomes a creamy dressing for your salads. And it's foundational because it's plain Greek fat yogurt. So you've got the vegetable dip here, onion, ranch packet, and the Italian. That is one of my favorite things to do, because then I will literally turn that into a meal and just dump the dressing on the salad and love it. Because every once in a while it's kind of indulgent, and there's actually not much difference between like a sour cream ranch and a buttermilk ranch, because that yogurt idea, it tastes a lot like a buttermilk, especially if you do it ahead of time, leave it overnight, let it sit in the refrigerator. All the flavors meld really nice, and you've got yourself a great dressing. And it's much lower calorie than the dressings you're going to buy from the store. But the whole point of all this is to say, salad is great, whether it's a cuke salad or a leaf salad. The base of it is always going to be super nutritious, but if you're not paying attention to what you're putting on it, and you're just dumping a bunch of cheese and dressings on there, and a whole bunch of nuts and things like that, the calorie counts climb insanely high. And at that point, you feel really good eating your salad, but a week from now, after eating the same kind of salad every day, you're like, why isn't this working? Well, it's because the calorie counts are all jacked up. You're getting the nutrients and then jacking up the calories. Now, in that moment, I would like everyone to recognize, out at the restaurant, you have salad as a choice and you have French fries as a choice. Let's say you've already eaten all of your foundations for the day and you're going back and forth like, which is healthier? I don't know. Don't worry about it. Salad is going to be great, and if you think that's going to be refreshing, enjoy it. French fries are going to be great, and if you think that's going to be refreshing, enjoy it. Just portion it appropriately. Here, you're portioning your dressing, and on the other side with the French fries, you're just portioning your fries, right? Because when you drench this in dressing, the French fries and the salad actually end up the same profile. It's kind of crazy. It's really just about the amount of it that you eat. So, the safe choice is not always the obvious choice. And you may or may not be better off making different choices at different times. But if you're paying attention, and that's the whole point of this stuff, if you're paying attention, then you're going to be golden. And that's where we win, because we pay attention to the stuff like this, right? And we enjoy this stuff for the nutrients that it's going to give us. So, that's our foundation. This is our freedom. And we keep it simple. Happy eating, guys.